Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Sarah Labrat, and in today's video, I am actually outlining for the first time ever before actually writing the thing. This is my first time ever outlining something before I start writing it. I have written things, especially my past project, my project DE. I outlined it twice. I outlined it when I outlined like J.K. Rowling, and I outlined it when I was reverse outlining to incorporate the three perspectives that had up until that point been separate. But today I'm actually going to be using the Save the Cat beat sheet to help me figure out a rough outline of my project for Camp NaNo. The reason that I'm outlining this is because I want to do 30,000 words in 1 month, aka the month of July. And I actually think that even though I am a pantser like through and through, I might actually be able to outline with this story because it's a retelling of a Greek myth of Hades and Persephone. And this is one that I've wanted to do for a long time now, but like it didn't feel right, and like I didn't know how to do it well, and I didn't know really what I wanted it to be. But things have fallen into place. I made a whole video about my goals for July, and you can watch that right here if you have not already. And so today we are trying to come up with my rough outline following the Save the Cat beat sheet. This is also the first time in probably like a solid 2 years that I've actually worked on a brand new project, which is very exciting, and it seems like it's going to be a really nice break between drafts 2 and 3 of my project DE. So during July, I'm going to be drafting this new project, which I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, and then after July, I will go back to my project DE and start on draft 3. I read through the beat sheet for the first time ever last night. So the new book, or the new project, I think because I'm going to be doing it during NaNoWriMo, needs to be outlined. At least I think it would be smartest, even though I am a pantser to my bones, I think it would be smartest if I tried to outline a little bit for this project for July's Camp NaNoWriMo, which means after having this book on my shelf for like probably almost 2 years, I'm actually going to open it and read it and try to follow along the beat sheet a little bit to come up with a rough guesstimation of an outline. Today is June 21st, and so I made this outline in an Excel document last night, which was June 20th. But basically I've gone through and listed out in what percentage the story beats happen, and then basically wrote out by act the story beats as listed in Save the Cat. And so because I've already started this Excel spreadsheet, I have decided that there will be probably 3 POVs in this book. And now that I've already made an Excel spreadsheet for it, it should be very easy for me to go through each beat for each character and try to figure out where the beats fall and like what happens roughly throughout the story using this beat sheet. So I decided that because I think the rough draft is going to end up being about 70,000 words for my camp project, I decided to go through and look at all of the story beat percentages and sort of calculate that with the 70,000 words in mind to kind of see at what word count things are going to be landing. Well, I added the column for word count and broke it all out into word count marks. However, I only filled out the opening image, which is the first 700 words. I think that what I need to do is go through this and kind of not fill in every square for this and just kind of jump around and fill in what I think is there right now, and then leave some of them open so that I can still having a little bit of a pantsing experience during Camp NaNo, because I don't want everything to be like too outlined, which I don't think it will be, because really for the 3 boxes that I filled out have had like 1 to 3 sentences in them. So I'm not worried about like over outlining, but before camp starts, I definitely need at least the first act roughly outlined. I've sort of been filming off and on for the past several days, but I just got back from work and I changed, and I've been listening to my writing playlist on my way to and from work to kind of like let this story percolate a little bit, roam around in my brain so that I can like try to figure out like what's gonna happen in this story, what's gonna happen where in this story. And so now that I've thought about it a little bit, I'm gonna work on filling out the spreadsheet that I made. One thing that I'm not a super big fan of with the Save the Cat Writes a Novel beat sheet so far is that it is very much geared towards stories that have one narrated POV and not so much for, say, me in my projects where I have like multiple characters, multiple POVs that narrate the story. And so that's something that I was really dealing with, was trying to figure out like a happy medium between what the beat sheet says and what makes sense for having 3 main characters. I have now outlined up through the B story, which, as the Save the Cat beat sheet says, is at about 22%, which for my story, which I think is going to be about 70,000 words, is at like the 15,400 word mark, which is really specific. And it being at the 22nd percentile, I'm just like, that's really interesting, okay? But I have noticed that 0 to 1%, which is the opening scene, which is like up until like 700 words, was the easiest for me to write and the quickest thing for me to come up with, because it was like, all right, essentially what's the world building, like what scenarios are these characters in? And so that one was really easy. But now that I've been working on this for a few days, and I'm still not entirely sure where this is going, like in like the longer term, as in like through to the end. And I'm also not super sure whether 70,000 words is like the right length for this book or not, which is kind of tricky. But the good news is that at least the first act is like roughly outlined, even if it is just like a sentence or two in each of the boxes, because I am very aware that I'm a pantser and I do not really like plotting. And so if I really just keep it like very simple to like 1 or 2 sentences per block, which is per story beat and per POV, that still gives me a little bit of freedom to pants the story. So now I'm up to the point where it's at the fun and games, which is 20% to 50%, which in this case is 14,000 words to 35,000 words. And I have a couple ideas on one of my characters, but not on the other 2 for this like 30% portion. But if I can finish this portion, so basically have everything outlined up until this like 35,000 word mark, that will technically like carry me through what my Camp Nano goal is, which is writing 30,000 words. And so if I write this in order, which I do not often do, writing up until like the 30,000 word mark should get me through to roughly where I'm at on this spreadsheet right now. But I do need to fill in the other 2 POVs and come up with what's going to happen during their fun and games. But I also feel like because it's fun and games, that's the part I almost need to pants. That's what I'm going to say for right now. I am very impressed with the stuff that I have gotten done thus far in this theoretical outline. It's really just giving me like story blocking, not so much an outline because I'm keeping it incredibly, incredibly brief. But I'm feeling actually like really pretty decent with where it's at right now, because it's just structured enough that I feel like I will be fine during Camp Nano and not feel like I'm running out of things to write and I'm not sure where the story's going, but is also going to give me that freedom in pantsing that I can refer to this if I need to, but in all the details and all the characterization and stuff, it's entirely up to my pantsing brain. And so I'm actually really happy with where this currently stands. And so I know that this is not like a completed outline. I was expecting it to be for this video, but I'm actually really happy with where it currently stands. And so I think I'm actually going to close the video out here because I'm actually pretty happy with it. So, because it gives me a lot of freedom. And so I feel like I'm standing right in the middle of plotting and pantsing, like right in the center, but it is what it is. So I guess that's it for me today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sarah Lebrat. I post videos twice a week, and during the month of July, which is Camp NaNoWriMo, I will be posting weekly writing vlogs about this whole drafting a new story thing, which is very, very exciting. This was a super short video from me today, but if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up because it really supports my channel. And if you have not already, make sure you scroll down below and hit that big red subscribe button and that little notification bell right next to it so that you don't miss another one of my videos as I'm posting about this process of starting a new story. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye!